Sorry. We have the FAWCO expert here, but we are independent organizations. And we have our own board of directors and program chairs. And so here you see me and Cynthia, who's sitting over here, Margaret, who's over there, hanging things, Kathy, who you've seen up at the registration desk all week, she's our treasurer. Suzanne Wheeler, who is totally crazy busy right now getting ready for foundation night tonight. Nan, who is over here. She's our VP of programs. And then Elsie, who is my parliamentarian, and she's also one of my counselors, which means she's a past president of the foundation. We also have two program administrators, Kelly, who has administered our development grants throughout the last year, and Carmen Clark, who has administered our education awards. So that's our core team right now. We're going to be building that team, which you will hear more about later. And again, I said we're a 501c3. We're incorporated in Missouri. So what the foundation does is we support the member clubs through development grants, education awards, needs scholarships, and the Target Water program. These are our four core programs. When we raise funds, this is what we are raising funds for. The education and development grants are sort of handled the same way, but then there's some differences between them. Both of them, we decide which DGs and EAs are going to be offered each year based on you, our member clubs, and FAWCO, of course, and individual donor interests. We don't just sit in a room and go, let's do painting the walls blue. Obviously, I'm looking at a blue wall. DG this year. It comes from you. We don't create these, and it's all based on what you want us to support and what you are willing to fund. The DG and EA categories and applications are published in September, so we need to know about summer, August, early September at the latest, if you or your club wants to sponsor an education award or a development grant, because we make the decision in a fall meeting, and then we get it up on the website and out to your clubs so you know which development grants and education awards we're going to be offering that year. The applications are then due in mid-January, and the recipients are, of course, announced this week. That's what we will be doing tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow afternoon. We're at the very end of the conference. We make you wait all week, but that's when we will announce who the recipients are of this year's development grants and education awards. So many of our education awards and development grants have multi-year funding. For example, we just received a lovely donation from the Viola Wheeler Trust, and it's a 5-year Arts Award. So they have, for 5 years, fully funded an Arts Award for $4,000. The AWC Basel Member Award for University Degree Studies is sponsored by Basel and Shirley Kearney, and that was a long, I can't remember when it started, but it's still going on and it goes until 2015. The FAWCO Member Skills Enhancement Award. This is something they've done for a couple of years, and our understanding is as long as they can get the funding, which they seem to have a lovely time raising funds every year and have been able to support it, this is something they want to continue funding. And the Pam Dahlgren Educating Africa's Children. This was left to us after her death. It was something that was very important to her. She was a very, very important member, an active member of FAWCO, and so she funded, or her estate funded, this development grant, for 10 years, and we're in year 2, I believe, of that. So that will continue on. The DG applications are vetted to make sure that they're in compliance with all of our requirements. So when we get them in, we take a look and make sure that the organizations meet our requirements, that the clubs have been active for at least 1 year in the development grant. So we look at all of that. And then all valid development grants are presented to each FAWCO member club and FAWCO for a vote. Each club and FAWCO gets a vote. And that's per category. So it's not just, you don't just choose one, you get to choose in each category. We accept votes until Friday of the conference. And then, like I said, we announce them on Saturday. And then the funds are dispersed once a statement of agreement is received from the grantee, and it's usually in the summer. That's just sort of the time the process takes. The sooner the club and the organization gets their statement of agreement to us, the sooner we can get the funds out. And the interim reports are due in January, and the final reports are due in June. And we put them up on the website as soon as possible. And what you'll see tomorrow when Nan does part of her presentation is we have interim reports in now, and a couple of the projects are actually completed. So we have a couple of final reports as such. So they're at different stages of progress. But usually by this conference, we just have interim reports from the previous year's recipients. So this year, you've seen these, I believe, in different places. These are the 7 development grants that were offered, and that clubs could nominate 2 programs per development grant category.
No.
Sorry?
No. Two, they could sponsor 2 development.
Total, I'm sorry, you're right, I'm sorry, thank you. You can nominate 2, not per category. I was going back to the voting, because I didn't think that was clear to some people that you could vote in every category. Yes, you can nominate 2 development grants. The education awards are a little bit different in that when they come in, they are vetted by an independent committee to ensure compliance with the education award requirements. And then all of the valid education awards go to a second committee which evaluate them and recommend the award recipient in each category to the board, and then we vote on the recipient of the education awards. That doesn't go out to the clubs. But there are 2 independent committees that evaluate the applications prior to it going to the board. And then again, they'll be announced tomorrow, and this is a little bit different, and the funds are dispersed once proof of enrollment and registration in the educational program is received. I believe there were problems in the past where money was dispersed and the person didn't go to the program. So that is up to the recipient to make sure they get their paperwork into us as soon as possible so we can get them their funds. But they do have to be enrolled and registered to receive the funds. And again, reports are due back to us on January 15th, and then they're posted on the website. And this, I'm focusing a little bit on this report section because that has been one of the bits of feedback we've had over time, that we need to make sure that we're reporting back to all of you on the status of the award and the development grant recipients. So we try really hard to, as quickly as possible, get these reports up for you so you can go to our website and see how your money has been used. And then the education awards, this is the Viola Wheeler that I mentioned. Oh no, I actually mentioned the development grant. Yeah. They also, no I didn't, I did the awards. Yeah, because they've done something else too, so I'll get to that in a moment. The Science Award, Humanities, Dual Cultural, and the University's Degree Award that I mentioned earlier.
Skills, member skills.
Is that a typo?
No, it's just not there.
That's because it hasn't come up yet. But thank you, Nan.
These are my babies.
Yes, she is our program chair, and she will keep me honest on everything I'm saying here.
No pressure.
So, no pressure. So Need Scholarship. You've heard a little bit about this, I think. You saw it in the presentation that I did yesterday. It was based out of the Lambs Project, which was a 2007 development grant. Where we were able to purchase, I believe it was about 50 lambs that were donated to this village, and the girls raised the lambs over their educational, lower educational career to support their school needs, their uniforms and everything. And Burkina Faso. And what we were hearing at the time, that shortly after that, was that our scholarships are merit-based, so all of our education awards are merit-based. They're not necessarily need-based. And the membership wanted a need-based scholarship. And so we'd already been involved with Burkina Faso and the Lambs Project. These girls were growing up, and they wanted further education. And so we worked with the Friends of Burkina Faso, which is our partner, was the partner on the Lambs Project, and started sponsoring these need scholarships, where scholarships are given to the girls of Burkina Faso in nursing, midwife studies, teaching, and university education. So we thought it was perfect timing as these girls were getting older that we could help continue their education because most of them are coming back, actually I believe all of them are coming back to their communities then and supporting their communities with their new education. And this is just, these are a few of the past graduates. Over the last few years, we've sponsored 15 girls. I know there's 3 new girls this year, and 2 are continuing their studies from the previous program. These are just this year's recipients. So we have 2 that are in nursing school and 1 who's a teacher training. Yes?
How are those candidates selected? From the school based on need?
Yes. We are not involved in the selection process of the actual girls.
Okay.
The people on the ground there are selecting the girls. And they wait for us in the fall, or summer again, to tell them how much we're able to donate. And then they go out and then they know how many scholarships they can give. I don't want to go there yet because I want to talk just a bit more about this. So when I was mentioning the Viola Wheeler, they also gave a 5-year commitment to a midwife scholarship. So they will be doing an arts award through FAWCO Foundation, and they're also doing 5 years. So every year 1 girl will get to go to school to become a midwife. And we haven't mentioned this a whole lot, but I know that when I was talking about our DGs and our EAs, when you choose to sponsor a development grant or an EA, excuse me, we listen to you and what you want. And for example, with the Viola Wheeler, they were very clear that if there is no award winner, recipient, not winner, for the arts award each year, that money will automatically go into another needs scholarship. So we listen to what you want, we design the development grants how you want them designed if you are a sponsor of the development grant. We think that NEED is going to be very happy when we let them know that they have this 5-year commitment for 1 scholarship per year for a midwife. So target, water project, yeah, sorry.
Before you leave me,
Yeah.
I'm just curious about what is on the ground in Burkina Faso in terms of support for these young women in their studies. Do they just get the money and go to school, or do they have some kind of a mentoring program, support program that helps them sort of make their life decisions? And
Elsie, you were involved in the...
Well, we work with the Friends of Burkina Faso, and they have people there who run that organization. The scholarship, in fact, it pays for school, books, room and board, housing, the whole bit.
The whole thing. So when we give $2,000, that covers the
Yeah.
entire package for like a 2-year education award.
So insofar as a mentoring, I think that's dependent upon the school's commitment to the students. But I think we've provided the foundation for them to be able to do their studies pretty much stress-free. And so I think that's probably the best answer I can give on that.
I'm just curious too, it could be something we would want to explore is what's done like in terms of as follow-up. You know, because many of us know you get out of school, you've got a nursing degree and then what?
And we are working with the Friends of Burkina Faso to get reports on all of the girls. We have all of their diplomas, so we know when they graduate. And we're trying to get, there seems to be a little bit of a communication issue with understanding that we really want stories of the girls, not just they've graduated, they're back in their community and they're doing this. So we're working to try and get more information, and that's a really active project for us right now, working with them to do that.
But I will say that I haven't heard any of the young women who have not gone into employment,
No.
so, that have received the scholarship. So, like Michelle said, we're trying to get more anecdotal information and to follow up.
Right. Is that it?
Yeah, no, it's just an interesting thing to think about follow-on and what is success and
Right. Right. Yeah.
Actually, this is back, sorry, I should ask you for the development grants. When you say that the club is supposed to be involved every year, what date is that they should be, where's the year?
Nan?
I was getting asked a question over here. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Okay, so she's asking, because we say that the clubs must be involved with a development grant program for a year, when does the year start?
It's a good question.
We thought it was from the January application due date back a year. That's what we.
That would seem reasonable to me, but I would have to look at our paperwork.
I would have to look at paper, yeah, but that would make sense for at least a year, and the involvement can be donation, it can be on the ground.
Hands-on.
Hands-on.
Hands-on, monetary donation, physical clothing, books, IT materials, sewing machines.
And advocacy in your group.
Yes, definitely.
Presentations.
Absolutely.
all that kind of-
Yeah, it's sort of to avoid that it's one person's
Sure.
personal agenda kind of thing, and personal involvement, and so that it's, the whole club knows what's going on.
Did you have another question? That did, okay, great. Okay.
Tell me about the Arts Award.
What about it?
I'd like to know, what is it, how do you do it, et cetera?
All of the information is put up every year for the requirements for the arts. I don't have it particularly right in front of me what the requirements are, but it's for a student that is going into an arts education.
Okay.
So it's an educational award.
It's an educational award, yes. It's not. Yes, ma'am.
It's in a program or continuing in a program, it can, the educational awards for the arts, the science, the humanities, it's 16 to 25, it can be undergraduate or graduate studies. They can be